Hatches 84, open the door. Electric nights, we're begging for more. Hatches 84.
Hey there guys, it's officially the next morning. I'm sorry my hair looks not too great right now, but it is what it is. Today started off, the temperature in this room was okay. It was a bit hot, but it was certainly better than I thought. I went out into the living room early this morning, just probably after 7:30. And I noticed a huge difference right away. The living room was so hot and so humid early this morning that it actually felt like an oven. So I turned the AC on. It's been on for a few hours now. I decided to come back in here, just rest my eyes for a little bit. My sleep routine last night was really bad. Like, I went to bed, I want to say just after 11 o'clock last night. But I couldn't sleep right away because of how hot it was in here, despite the fact that my Vornado and my Honeywell fan are both on. And even though it was certainly much better in here late at night than it was out in the living room, it was warm enough to the point where didn't really need to use my quilt to keep myself warm at night. If anything, it kind of felt more like early summer in here. So yeah, my hair doesn't look all that flattering right now. I may have to take a cold shower today and wash all this off and hope for the best. But today is Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, and probably the only day we have left where the temperature is going to hit 40 degrees, and that's the Humidex. I think the temperature today, the actual temperature, is going to be 35, and then of course if you factor in the Humidex, it feels more like 40 degrees, or at least it's going to be later this afternoon, if it hasn't gotten there yet already. But if you can't already tell, it's 10:14 a.m. The reflection of the sun hit directly on this bed, if you can't already tell. So I'm kind of just starting my day. One of the perks to sleeping in as late as I had today is that my day is almost half over already. And yes, I am doing this on purpose because I'm trying to get this day to go very quickly so that this day would just end. There's obviously reasons behind it. The biggest reason is to hopefully make it to the next day. Tomorrow, actually, temperature-wise, tomorrow's actually not supposed to be as hot as it has been the last couple of days. I think the Humidex tomorrow is supposed to hit 36 degrees. Still on the hot end, but it won't be as bad, thankfully. And with regard to the rest of the week, looks like Friday is going to be the Humidex is supposed to hit like 28 degrees tomorrow, possibly 30. So tomorrow should be Friday should be a much better day. Saturday, same deal. Sunday is going to be a lot like what the weather could potentially be tomorrow, temperature-wise. 35 degrees, I think, is the Humidex for Sunday. Now, because the weather or the temperatures can and do change over time because of predictions through the Weather Network, they can and they do change. Things could dramatically change. On the precipitation side of things, it looks like tomorrow is going to be a pretty right day for some rain, and even though we might not get quite as much as I would have liked, it is certainly better than nothing. Definitely would be glad to get some rain tomorrow, at least get the ground all wet and whatnot. But I think one thing I would love to have more than anything would definitely be a real heavy downpour, because that's what this place really needs right now. We have spent a good latter portion of this month and part of last month as well, where we barely had any rain at all. So hopefully we get some rain tomorrow. Hopefully get at least a moderate amount of rain, if nothing else. And hopefully once it does rain, hopefully with any luck after that, is when we can finally get out and do stuff without worrying about whether or not we're going to get caught up in this whole wildfire. And speaking of wildfire, yes, wildfires here in the east are out of control. But where I live isn't the only place that is in danger of major fires. We all know that. Nova Scotia, PEI, Newfoundland, and even in places like in Ontario are in danger of major fires. BC is dealing with a wildfire of their own, and I know that the prairies are dealing with it as well. Hopefully this does not become the new normal, but hopefully with any luck, come tomorrow, things will dramatically change and hopefully we do get some rain. But until that happens, we're pretty much stuck in this dry spell, dealing with all this haze, humidity. It's really bad, and I can't even think of a time. I know the last couple of Augusts in a row within the last 2 years, or better make that 3, the last 3 Augusts in a row, with the exception of this month, this year, we had been blessed with cooler weather, usually quite a bit of rain, so it wasn't that bad. This year is a little different though. We've had at least up to 4 or 5 days worth of very hot, very humid and sticky weather, and it's not great. It's really not that great, but hope for the best, but expect the worst. At least that's what I've been hearing from other people. My hope for the next couple of days, though, is that things turn around. I know next week, and this may actually change, but next week in particular is more than likely going to be a relatively cooler day. May still be a dry week, but the fact that the weather is going to be much cooler next week, that in and of itself is going to be a relief more than anything in the world. And yes, I do speak in monotone. Forgive me for that. But that's the update for right now. Hopefully the weather, hopefully things turn around weather-wise in the coming weeks. And hopefully it'll be good enough that we'll be able to get out and do stuff, and hopefully more vlogs in the future. Maybe I'll do more outdoorsy type vlogs next week or something. Who knows? But until that happens, I hope you guys understand this is something that we got to do to prevent forest fires from happening. But anyway, guys, I hope you all have a great day. I'm actually gonna get out of here, wake up a little more, maybe get some caffeinated beverages in my system, and maybe get some lunch. But anyway, hope you all have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Hey there, guys. It's Saturday morning, 7 o'clock. This is just a brief update video. I'm not going to be on here for very long. I am going to get ready and get out, go for a walk for the first time in more than a week. It's actually quite nice. It's quite cool. Not as cool as I'd like it to be, but regardless, it is nice enough for me to sleep comfortably, and I was able to get a good 8 hours in. Went to bed pretty early last night because I got really tired. Today is a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day, and yes, I'm rubbing my eyes because I just got up. Not a cloud in the sky. Hopefully tomorrow the weather will improve. I do have a couple of rather interesting and rather disturbing updates regarding something else, but I will get into that later on in the next video too. But just too many details or whatever to share. I may give snippets or something like that. Not gonna say anything more than that. But yeah, today's a beautiful day. Today's Saturday. The Humidex today is actually supposed to hit 31 degrees, which is about 10 degrees cooler than it had been a couple days ago, so that's a bit of a treat. For right now, though, it is, I want to say 9 degrees with the wind chill of 8. I actually get to say wind chill for the first time in like months. This summer so far has been really brutal. It's been absolutely crazy, and these past couple of days, I have to say, they haven't been the greatest with regard to temperatures. It has gotten so hot the last few days that I thought for sure I was going to go insane. And fortunately for me, it didn't go that far. It did not go that far, which is kind of nice. But yeah, the reflection of the sun on the wall, indicating the sun is finally out. I would like to take the trail today, but it doesn't look like that I am going to be able to, and I will get into details of that at some point in this type of video momentarily. But I just wanted to throw this video on and let you guys know, yes, it is officially a few days later. You're probably wondering, why didn't I record any videos on a Friday? Well, I made the decision to take a bit of a break from recording a video due to the fact that so many other things were going on that I don't believe anyone needs to really know what's been going on behind the scenes, per se. Let's just say I was a little sick yesterday and couldn't really record anything. But yeah, today's a brand new day. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna get out there a little bit later and I'm going to enjoy what little cold weather we may have before the 31 degree weather kicks in. I'm going to bring this camera with me in case if I do decide to vlog my little adventure, or maybe I won't, but who knows. It's always good to bring a camera with me should I need to. But yeah, today's a beautiful day. I'm gonna end this portion of the video right here, and I'll check back with you guys at a later time. So with that, check back with you guys later. Now that tree seen happier days. Okay, so the glare of the sun is not doing any favors. Hey there, guys. Back out where I belong, in the wilderness. Sort of. This is just, oh, my ears itching like crazy. Oh my gosh. Well, I may have to cut that out of the video, maybe not. I don't know. But today is Saturday. It is August the 16th, 2025. Brand new day, brand new start. Brand new sunshine. If you can't already tell, the glare of the sun is making it very difficult for me to show you guys how beautiful it is, because it's so bright. Today feels a little bit on the humid side, even though it's supposed to be the temperature out here today. as of right this very moment, it's supposed to hit the single digits for a little while until later in the day. But I can already feel the humidity, and I think a lot of it has to do with the dew on the ground. This is a rather interesting week, to say the least. Being told to stay out of the woods, stay out of Crown Land, because of the forest fires that we are now dealing with. And we got a little barky doggy. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, currently back out for my walk. Haven't been out for a walk in quite a while, and here I am, getting a little bit of fresh air, even though it isn't much. Last time I did a vlog out here early in the morning, I tried to upload a video similar to this. I want to say last week. Unfortunately for me, the video glitched out and hence you couldn't see anything. So I'm back out here again for the first time in a while, because ever since my little excursion out here last Saturday, it was brutally, and I'm gonna say this right now, it was brutally hot. And yes, my leg is itching like crazy because, well, my body can't seem to give me a chance to stop and smell the roses. But anyway, as I mentioned, this to me looks like a fire pit. You can tell because there's charred wood in there. Either that or it's just, I really don't know what this is. They didn't used to have that big hunkin' thing. They used to have like what looked to me like a little bricked barbecue a few years ago. Here's a little, what looks like a little fire pit right here. And if I had to guess, I'd say that's where the old fire pit used to be. And if I remember correctly, and I don't know if I can remember at all, but, and I think I may have shown you guys in the past, but I think it was along here. Maybe it's further this way, like down that way. There was like piles and piles and piles of what looks to me like somebody's property that got burned. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, a couple of years ago, just along that way, there used to be a tent lived in by somebody who is homeless. I don't know if that person is housed or not. I don't even know what's been going on with them. But there used to be a tent there that somebody lived in. And you could tell somebody was living in there because there was a lot of stuff. And there was this huge fire pit that this person had. And ever since that one day, and it had been some time after, the tent had been dismantled. Whatever was in there, everything was destroyed, I guess you could say, by fire, because it looked like somebody burned it down. I really don't know if that is the case or not. And you might see that this ground appears to be a little bit wet, a little bit damp today, because believe it or not, last Thursday, or this past Thursday I should say, I wouldn't say last Thursday, we had a bit of rain for like half a day, and it was pretty heavy rain, but it didn't last, and it was very disappointing. I really wanted there to be tons and tons of rain, Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out that way. We ended up not getting very much, and alas, we ended up getting sun. The temperature went up to like 35 degrees, and that's with the Humidex is 35. The temperature, the actual temperature was supposed to be 31. Humidex went up to 35, or it went up to 36 actually, if I remember correctly. Because it did rain moments before that, it did feel a lot warmer than that, and then the air felt a bit dense, and it was a recipe for not so comfortable conditions. So I finally had a chance to just stand back and be like, you know what? We have had Humidex values skyrocket to 43 degrees for 3 days in a row. One day after I was out here in this very piece of land, and I've been dealing with it for a long time, and then I said to myself, one more day can't possibly hurt anybody. So I sucked it up, and sure enough, once I got done sucking it up, finally yesterday, the temperature outside, which is out here, actually worked to my favor, and it has gotten to the point where I finally had the courage to say, you know what, I'm not going to have my air conditioner running. This was yesterday now. I had a lot of stuff going on with my domestic life. Had to take care of a couple of things, had to take care of certain responsibilities, the evils to living in your own home. But shortly thereafter, my stomach hadn't been feeling too good. I felt a little sick for some reason, and I made the decision not to do a video that day. I mean, great, I did a vlog on a Thursday afternoon, which will be included in this video, but it was absolutely 100% brutal. This last week in particular has been a brutal week. It's been a crazy week. And now it looks like we may be in for some cooler weather, which is great because we could certainly use a day of not dealing with the heat. And as of right this very moment, I could certainly use it. Although it's humid out, it's not quite as crazy as it was the last time I was out here. I remembered this time last week when I came out this way, I was actually feeling a bit warm. I felt like I was gonna turn into a big grease ball. That's how hot it got last week. But what I had to endure last Saturday was nothing compared to what I dealt with days later, hours after that even. And this week overall, with the Humidex values skyrocketing the way that they did, and with everything else going on in between, inside of YouTube and outside of YouTube and other social media, I had to take a moment and be like, you know what? There are a lot worse things out there. There's a war going on there's a war in Ukraine going on right now. Israel is attacking the Gaza Strip. And it's like, and then Trump is once again the president of the States, which I am not happy about. So I'm like, I had to take a moment, have a little moment of clarity, and be like, you know what? What is the point to complaining, really? What good is it gonna do to bitch about everything that's going on in my life when there are so many other things going on in this world that is far worse than what it was? Oh, I want to show you guys something. Film this section of the land and start chatting while I'm at it. This is something I should really be focusing on. Getting out and enjoying all this beautiful weather. Looking at all these trees, looking at the bushes and stuff. I could have gone further over there, but I've made the decision not to do that because obviously you can't trespass there anyway. But I've taken a moment today and I've been looking around, checking this trail out. It's a very open space. It's not wooded. The only real reason why I wouldn't go in there is it's not because our government is telling us we need to stay out of the woods. The trees and that, it's a very dry season, that kind of thing. That part I get. But another reason why I'm not going to go further in there is because, well, very obvious reason. No trespassing of any kind. I know some people that live in this area, just like me, that actually do defy and go in there and they're like, well, the owner doesn't really care as long as it's not an ATV. In the same respect, I kind of wanted to respect the laws and the rules with regard to who can go where. As long as I'm on this open path, and as long as I'm not doing anything illegal, I think we'll be fine. What is the worst that can happen? Like, I'm being honest here. What is the worst that can happen? I want to take a moment, actually, and address, and another reason why I'm doing this type of video. And it's got nothing to do with Suno AI, even though I talked about it in a couple of videos in the past. But something else happened recently. Somebody, let's just say, while McJuggernuggets is working on doing a 24 hours a day, 30-day live stream of Eagles Landing survival series, let's just say a certain YouTuber has come out and decided to bash him. And he pretty much told the internet that he wants nothing to do with McJuggernuggets after all this, that he's no longer going to associate with him. First and foremost, I don't know if any of this is scripted. I don't know if it's real. Like I said in the past, and I want to cut to the chase. It is YouTube. It's YouTube. Anything is possible. People say things and then people like run with it or say, well, this is all fake. It's all scripted. I want to tell you straight up, I don't know if it is or not. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to speak specific, like I'm not going to speak on any of this specifically because I don't feel like it's really my place to get into too much detail about that. I don't think that I should. I don't feel like I have a place to say anything. Only to say that, yes, I am fully aware of the situation. I know what's going on. And here's what I'm going to personally say. And this is just of my opinion. If you don't agree with what this person said about McJuggernuggets, that's fine. If you do, that's fine too. I can't make you guys either choose between one or the other. If you're still a supporter of McJuggernuggets after this, then I would say, you know what? That's totally fine, because that's what I plan on doing. I don't think it's fair to just jump right to the other side because that other side said something negative about certain people without hard proof. I've done the same thing. I did the same thing with Becky Boop. I made the decision to continue to support her on her channel, mainly because I think she's got a lot of potential. In fact, she has potential, and she's showing it right now. And I'm going to do the same for McJuggernuggets as well. I'm going to continue to support him no matter what goes on. Because again, much like with Becky Boop, he has potential. But like I said, you guys go with your gut, believe whatever you choose to believe, and go about your day. But anyways, that's pretty much the only real update that I got for you guys for right now. Not much else to say about that, but that's about it. But I think I'm going to wrap this video up, end it now, and continue on with my walk. I don't know when this video is going to come out yet, but I will, once it's uploaded, hopefully this time, and I'm crossing my fingers with this, I'm really hoping this time that the video won't get glitched out just like last time, due to the fact that the last time I uploaded a video kind of like this big, well, let's just say it didn't go very well for me. So we'll see how things go, and hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. Oh, and before I end the video, this is kind of a little afterthought. If you guys can't tell, looks like there's some trenches here, and it looks like it was relatively new. It was just put in. There's a little gate right here, and it looks like whoever put them in is planning on blocking this section out, the school off from this open field. Now, it is heavily possible that this place could be closed off to the public, and if that's going to be the case, then this could be the last and final time that we'll be able to set foot here again. But anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. Have a great day, and I'll chat back with you guys later. Peace. Oh, your crow's chirping. Ah. There's my shadow. I don't think I'm alone. And I can hear music coming from in the background, and it's not coming from me. with some of those trees over there are almost completely dead. Alright, so I know my vlog is pretty much done and over, but I thought I'd take a moment to share this with you guys. As I was walking towards here, there's a vehicle over there, some guy playing loud music, which is part of the reason why I decided to end it. But the other reason why I'm doing this particular vlog right now is because, and I'll show you right now, you're not going to be able to see it because they've been long gone, but I saw a couple of deer crossing the street here, this dirt street, and I have not seen them since. There's just a couple of deer, most likely a couple of doe, either that or it's a couple of bucks. I remembered a few years ago when, hold on, I remembered a few years ago when I was at my parents' place dog sitting. I saw a couple of deer out in the front yard eating, to me, what looked like grass, either that or dog doo-doo. Not going to get into it too much. This one deer I did catch, or did eventually see, it was a buck, and I could tell it was because it had horns, more like little stumps, but you can easily tell that they're male, because female deer, or I guess another term for it would be doe, they don't have horns or stubs like male deer does. And that's basically what it was. When I was out in that open field doing a vlog, much like what I'm doing now, I saw a few more deer. Now I couldn't really tell because I was pretty far away from them, but they had their tails up and they ran like scaredy cats, pretty much. So that was a really good sight to see, especially on days like today. It's not something you see every day. It's not something that you see all the time, but it is a good sight to see nevertheless. There's going to be more deer being spotted up this way over the course of a few more months, because if you can't already tell, it is deer season, and usually by now you see far more. You'd see like an explosion of deer. Like, who knows, I could see some deer along this way right now and I don't even know. Or right now I don't see any deer in this area, but that's part of the reason why I'm down here. This is probably the second time I tried doing a video, like a vlog video, while I was down here about certain things that have been going on. But I had a moment of clarity. I had to think about it for a little bit and quickly realized, you know, it wasn't a good idea to upload the video onto my channel. And there's pretty much some good reason. I know that if I did, and I probably would have if I had the opportunity, I would have been threatened with not only being attacked, but I could have easily ended up getting sued, because we all know what people are like these days. Huh, interesting. So I didn't upload any of the videos that day. And it was probably just as well, because it got really, really crazy. Look, I don't know if my camera can pick it up. Looks like they're sprinkling the ground. Good thing I'm not in the woods. I'm in an open field type situation. But anyway, moving on from that little scenario, this looks like a cage. A cage to where I'm not I'm not exactly sure. And I'm not going in here all the way, but if I had to guess, this looks like it could be a cage. Could be a miniature dog park. It could be a practice field. Could be a storage facility. I mean, I have no idea what this is. You know, I've always asked myself, you know, what is this little cage thing? And why is it here? Like, what purpose does it serve? And I don't really know. I don't think anybody here really knows. This right here looks like an extra parking space. Because believe it or not, behind this fence, the green fence, that I can peek through because there's openings, this is actually a ball field. Every summer, pretty much a few times a summer, there would be a ball game and a show, and sometimes you could hear the announcer like giving out scores and whatnot here. I mean, I could hear it all the way to my place, that's how loud it is most times. But that's what it is. You can also tell because there's lights up there. A lot of beautiful trees. Unfortunately, some of these trees are pretty much dying. Some of them are already dead. Some have already been chopped down. And I'm pretty sure a lot of it had to do with some of the storms we've had. We've had post-tropical storm Arthur that hit us back in 2014. We had post-tropical storm Lee. We've had other storms that are not a hurricane or post-tropical storm, but nevertheless a storm, that have damaged these trees over the years. And a lot of it is due to climate change and global warming and whatnot. This summer, thus far in this month, has gotten pretty bad, which is almost unheard of, at least in my lifetime. But this time around, it's getting worse. Like I said earlier, in an earlier video, that it's been a dry summer. It's been a dry few weeks, and there is a total burn ban. There was also a ban with regard to going into the woods, which is why I'm not even on the trail like I usually am. Hopefully things will get better on this side of things. Hopefully certain bans will be lifted and things will be back to normal, and we can go back to doing what I normally do when I do vlogs like this. But until that happens, things are just not going to be totally normal, at least not on this side anyway. But anyway, before I go any further and before the battery on this thing dies and my GoPro heats up any further, I'm gonna end the video here, head home, get this video edited as soon as possible. Hopefully there won't be any glitches, and I hope everyone's doing all right. So on that note, this is Patches84 signing off once again. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like, let's be honest here. But that's about it. Oh, yeah.